Hey there, it's Alex from Smoking Out the Closet. I have a very special message for all of our listeners. Smoking Out the Closet is partnering with the Pittsburgh Cannabis Festival. We're going to be doing a bunch of cool social media promotions for them, along with having a media tent the day of the event. The Pittsburgh Cannabis Festival aims to create a safe space where people can exchange their knowledge from all aspects of the cannabis industry, and it focuses on health, wellness, education, advocacy, and culture surrounding cannabis. The Pittsburgh Cannabis Festival will be held August 14th at a location to be determined in the near future. We hope to see you there.
This is Smoking Out the Closet. Now, here are your hosts, Alex and Rayven Greer.
Hi, my name is Rayven. I use she, her pronouns.
Hi, I'm Alex. I use they, them pronouns.
And welcome back to another episode of
Smoking Out the Closet.
Hi, guys. I'm going to scoot up here a little closer. So first of all, sorry that we missed last episode.
Raven had COVID.
Yeah, it started as like a chest cold from my allergies and got really bad. I was really tired on like Monday, Tuesday. And then Wednesday rolls around and we found out that we got exposed from
someone at my work had a confirmed case.
Yeah, had a confirmed case, and then someone we're how do you want to say this?
Are they okay with saying that we're like
I don't know, we're dating.
Our partner. I will say that.
Because Polly.
Our partner. They were exposed at someplace they were, and they were like, hey, we just saw each other Tuesday, whatever. We're like, oh shit, well, we should probably get tested. And I came back negative, and then
Twice.
3 times. I had 3 separate tests the past week, and I came back negative 3 separate times. Rayven, on the other hand, she was positive. The guy had their sticky notes, and then they set them on the desk. I was like, well, shit, one of us doesn't have it, and one of us does. How the fuck do we manage this? The only thing I could think of is because you don't have your booster, and I have my booster, and that's how I didn't get whatever strain you caught.
Probably. That or it's just because I was already immunely compromised.
Yeah, and you were already sick with your allergies and shit.
Yeah, because I never popped a fever, but the allergies ended up making me throw up after a certain point, because everything's draining.
Yeah, it's just a bad time.
So
it feels so bad for her, and there's nothing I can do.
So I probably just weakened my immune system and everything, and then I was more susceptible to it. Yeah. Or it could have been the boozer. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? I don't know. I don't.
Do you want to talk about what we're smoking here?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to check because I heard the cat's making a noise.
I heard something going on over there. So we are vaping together on a cart called Pretty Wicked by Agrikind. And I believe this is another one of their liquid sugar cartridges. Yeah. Wait, what?
All of them are.
All of the AK ones are. Okay. That's what I thought. And oh my God, I'm loving these liquid sugar carts. Like last night when I went to bed, I have lime breath and it tastes so sweet and good because it's like how they make them. I don't know if we talked about this in the podcast before, but it's basically they take the sugar and then they make it into a more liquid form. So it still has the concentration and the terpene profiles of the sugar. So it's more like taking a dab than doing a CO2 cartridge.
See, I thought it was more, they basically make the sugar, but because the sugar is already kind of in a liquidy process, like a liquidy state, instead of actually going to refine it, cure it to make it the sugar, which is kind of more flaky.
Instead of that, they just stick it in a
container.
So it's basically exactly the same as sugar.
Yeah, it's basically a sugar version of the live liquid resins.
Yeah, so it's kind of more akin to a dab pen than a vape, but it does look like a regular cartridge.
Yeah, I mean it is a vape.
But holy shit, they're so much more flavorable than those CO2s.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I
burn off a lot in that process.
I love about this, and this Pretty Wicked is pretty wicked. Like I'm gonna tell you, it lives up to its name. It's great. It's cool. I like it.
I got it because we were having a sale, and I legit got it because the limonene was 0.666,
and that was so cool.
And I was like, well, my Satanist of a wife would love this.
I love it. It's great.
So yeah, I got it. It's pretty good. I give it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I'm liking it. I'll give it a 4 out of 5 as well. It's really nice, and like I feel like I can do things and not fall asleep on the couch, you know. But I also don't feel inclined to like zoom around everywhere and do everything.
Yeah, it's weird because it is a sativa dominant, but it's not like super crazy with it.
Yeah.
Also, I just realized I need my phone.
You need your phone?
Yeah, because a lot of the articles and stuff I'm going to be talking about.
On your phone.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's where we have been last week, and then the strain we're smoking on. Do we want to add anything to our review? Because I know sometimes we have a tendency to go off of the review too soon.
We got it pretty good at how we felt and everything, yeah. I think. All right. Do you have a topic you want to start with? Or I could start with something. All of this is a little older at this point because we originally wrote this for the last episode.
Yeah, I totally even forgot like what I wrote down. Sorry, I don't know what happens to my voice here. What's happening? But anyway, sorry. I just totally zoned out for a second. I totally forgot what I wrote down here because I think I did a lot of this. This was like 2 weeks ago now at this point because we didn't anticipate getting sick.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with me since I don't have COVID. I think my allergies are just kicking my ass right now.
Yeah, because we have a lot of honeysuckles by our window, and we think that's what's affecting us the biggest. So
I know, at least with Raven. And then also our air conditioner in the bedroom has like a bird nest or whatever fucking building in there. So we had to call maintenance. Well, we couldn't call maintenance because Raven had COVID. So we need to get that cleaned out because also that one, and we should probably get the one in the living room cleaned out too, just because running those when they're dirty can make your allergies so much worse.
Yeah, I bet.
And it's not doing either of us any favors.
Well, I can start with mine. So back in April 25th, now I didn't get a chance to bring it up. It was in my previous show notes for last month. But on April 25th, Hempfield High School students led a drag show. Cool. But a couple days after it got like media attention because basically the teacher it was connected to their LGBT club, student run club.
Yeah.
The teacher is in trouble because they put on a drag performance and a lot of people were saying it's seductive. Now, I showed you that video. Nothing about it was seductive.
It wasn't like anybody did any like
burlesque shit or anything.
No, or they didn't do like Pony, the song Pony. That song is just from Magic Mike. Is just super sexual. That it's not like that end of drag where it could be super sexual kind of burlesque drag, but it's just performing. They're just performing to songs, like lip syncing.
So Lancaster Online was the one that originally posted that video and everything, because Hempfield High School is in the Lancaster County area. So they did a follow-up because a student came out to them and said, "You guys did this wrong. You're part of the reason why this is an issue." So what happened exactly? This one's written by Ashley Stallnecker. I don't know. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. I'm not sure if that's the same person that wrote the original one. But what happened exactly at the after-school drag show event at Hempfield High School that has raised questions and spurred controversy? Several weeks later, the answer is still not clear. However, one eyewitness account and photographs and videos reviewed by LPN, Lancaster Online, some details have surfaced. A student member of the Hempfield High School's Gay Sexuality Alliance Club, has stepped forward to defend the April 25th after-school drag show that sparked an uproar and led to an ongoing investigation. Hempfield Jr. and GSA Vice President Miguel Angel Rosado spoke to the school board during the public comment portion of Tuesday's board meeting, which drew hundreds of people online and in person in kind of like retaliation for this event. This is now Miguel. Please listen to what I have to say, as I was physically present at this event, Rosado said during the public comment portion of the meeting. First and foremost, I feel as if a lot of retaliation has come from a lack of education and context. Because not a lot of people understand drag.
Yeah.
And not all of it, and some that kind of know, it's not always like RuPaul's fucking Drag Race. But that's kind of what they're comparing it to.
Yeah, RuPaul is the most exposure that a lot of people get to drag. Unless you're like you or me or like our partner, unless you know of the community and you know somebody in the community.
Or performed in the community.
Have performed in it. It's something that's super niche. Kind of also like shadow casting for shows and stuff. or like doing performances and like, because a lot of time in state college, I didn't really have anybody who like was in theater, so I didn't know what shows were going on, or I would have went.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's I don't know, it's just kind of weird.
At first glance, Rosario said, the event seems like something the school wouldn't allow. But Rosario contends that the drag show holds value, particularly for members of the LGBTQ plus community. Drag shows are an integral part of the LGBTQ plus community and its history. He regrets that the event, through the lens of social media, has turned into something different. In his public comment, said, "I wish things hadn't turned out the way they did." So far, the district has placed 3 individuals who have not been named on administrative leave. At Tuesday's meeting, board president Grant Keener said the investigation is still ongoing, and the district couldn't spare any further detail at this time. Jeez. Superintendent Mike Bromirsky, sorry, I'm totally butchering that, urged residents to refrain from speculating about the nature of the event in the absence of information released by the district. However, videos and photos allegedly taken at the show, as well as speculation and commentary have already circled on social media platforms like Facebook. That's because LPN posted this shit. And it was just a little snippet.
Mm-hmm.
And these performers were in leotards. In the match, almost their skin tone.
Mm-hmm.
So when they took their shirts off, you weren't even seeing like AMAB people or guys in drag.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say they were guys in drag. I'm quoting that, but AMAB people in drag, because I know there are some like myself who are trans performers.
Yeah.
But no, not even like quote unquote social media here. Masculine presenting nipples were shown at this event.
Yeah.
Nobody's derriere was out in the open. Nobody's chest.
You just made me, I'm not gonna lie, you just made me look to see if my shirt was covering myself when we're talking about this, because I'm wearing a cutoff for reference. We just get comfy when we do the podcast, and I'm like, man, am I it's not like we have a camera. This is why I'm afraid if we have a camera. My nipple is gonna pop out during the podcast.
So how did the queens dress and perform? LPN Lancaster Online viewed a few photos, brief portions of videos confirmed to be of the 25th of April's performance. The viewing was permitted for a short time, and all the images showed the same drag queen. A drag queen is a man who dressed in women's clothing, typically for entertainment purposes. I'm air quoting them that because that's not always what it is.
No, that's really kind of like,
because you have bio queens too.
Yeah, you do.
The video viewed by LPN did not show the queen dancing in a manner that simulated sexual activity, and has been the case in some videos alleged to be from the event and posted online. The queen was wearing a short blue dress that fell to mid-thigh length and an orange-colored wig. In a live photo, the queen was shown dropping in a semi-squat from a standing position. Live photos are features of the iPhones that record what happens in about 1.5 seconds before and after taking the picture. One of the concerns voiced about drag show is the attire of the performers. In a statement issued by the district on April 29th announcing that the investigation was happening, it wrote, "Neither the dress of the invited guests nor the performers were appropriate in a school setting." I'm sorry. So we're telling girls they can't wear spaghetti string tank tops and shorts that don't go below the knee.
Listen.
But guys are doing it.
Can I get my soapbox real quick?
Sure.
So fucking any kind of dress code like this is just bullshit, trying to be like, yeah, don't make XYZ provocative, like you need to like conserve yourself because these it's like a distraction thing, and they're like, oh, it's because of the boys. No, it's because of your fucking teachers. That's the real fucking reason. Why don't you just have a college? Perfect example. Guess what? They're closer in age. Like everybody's wearing whatever the fuck they want, and people still learn. People still get tests. Guess how many people graduate every year?
And this thing that pisses me off. It was a mid-thigh length dress.
This wasn't even that short.
Yeah. Do you have any idea how many like theater productions at a high school throw on with dresses that long or something like that, or a skirt?
Yeah. That's crazy.
The dress Rosado told the school board on Tuesday wasn't different from that of many other extracurriculars, though. Yes, some of the outfits showed a little more skin, quoting Rosario said during the public comment board, but the performers were all wearing bathing suits, leotards.
They're leotards.
But it's leotard. How it's spelled.
No, I've always heard people pronounce it leotard.
But there's only one A.
Listen,
sorry,
I'm from Central Pennsylvania.
Okay,
nobody pronounces shit right, okay?
That might be the British side of me that's just making me
and
pronounce
the
it that way.
Pennsyltucky part of me is making me say it that way.
Jumpers, skirts, or dresses. The photos and videos viewed by LNP, match these descriptions. Heteronormative activities such as wrestling, cheerleading, swimming, homecoming, and prom allow similar outfits, Rosario said. Things that are described as heteronormative are considered to denote a worldview that promotes a female-to-male relationship as the preferred sexual orientation. And in some fashion design classes taught in the high school, Rosario claimed students can design and make outfits a drag queen performer could normally wear. Aside from the dress, another point of contention was the nature of the performance, where some parents have described as sexual. I hope you can feel the air quotes on that.
Yeah, air quotes.
Sorry, allergies. I feel like we're promoting sexually explicit behavior, parent William Crawford said during the public comment portion of the Tuesday's board meeting. Rosario sees it differently. Drag shows, Rosario said, showcase dancing, a form of art, not stripping or a sex show. Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem fair to condemn this medium of art, deeming it inappropriate and sexualizing when the schools allow students to submit actual depictions of nudity for art assignments in art classes. Uh-huh. And those pieces, Rosario said, can sometimes be found in art shows where the students below the high school level. Additionally, Rosario said that the dance or performance like drag show is not much different from those school-related extracurricular activities like gymnastics and musicals. The only thing that you could consider quote-unquote sexual is the death drop. And that's not even an actual sexual move. It just shows a little more leg in the process of doing it.
Yeah.
But the death drop was performed. And I saw this video and I was very much like, you did that really well and you're really young and I'm really jealous. But good on you.
But also, like, can I say something real quick? This also brings me back to fucking... I am a really big, like, read banned books. Like, do not allow people to ban, like, art, basically. And, like, censor art. And it's like, this is what you're doing is you were... I understand, like, it's kids, but, like, also... What happened to the computer? Okay.
I just screen timed out.
Whew, that scared me. I'm not going to lie. I'm sorry. But, like... Oh, it's probably because the power bumps in it kind of reset. Did it reset your settings?
Yeah, it probably did.
Yeah. So, but like, I don't know. It's not like drag has ever been inherently sexual. There's skin. But there's also so many layers of pantyhose underneath of that quote unquote skin sometimes of like holding pads and things in places. So like, I don't know if it's even considered like, I wouldn't even consider it sexual. Like, it's not the nature of drag. It's just, This is what drag is, and why are you making a big deal about it when straight people, heteronormative shit, like prom, you've seen some of these short-ass dresses that chicks wear to prom. Mm-hmm. What is the difference between that and a drag queen wearing a short dress? I don't understand. And that also loops into that stupid dress code policy bullcrap.
Yeah, it's really stupid, but also at the same time,
at the end of the day, you know what it's doing, and I'm going to spit fire here, and I don't care who I upset. It's perpetrating rape culture is what it's doing. And it drives me up the wall.
But my thing is, too, with, like, these quote-unquote, it's something that people know are inherently queer. Mm-hmm. In Lancaster... Sorry. God.
Might have to do some editing on this episode. It's like, nah, just
It's a
fuck
weed
it.
cough.
Just leave it. It's fine. It's a cush cough.
Because I am smoking while we're recording, obviously.
Yeah, because we're vaping inside. So
it's a form of queer culture that Lancaster County A is not super pro LGBT to begin with.
no.
This is a 3-year running event, and someone probably finally got wind of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Lancaster County. That's like mostly Amish people, and then rednecks who own the farms next door.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not the most pro-LGBT people. So what they're doing is, we can't have this representation here. It's an issue.
And we're going to try to cover other things onto it, so we're not getting in trouble for saying this is LGBT representation we're not comfortable with, instead of, oh, it's sexual, oh, it's explicit, oh, it's this other thing. We're just not going to admit we're being homophobic.
And like, it goes on later in the article, like, it's a form of gender expression, and like how the history of drag and everything. Rosado literally goes into a big spiel about it, and like, this is historically relevant for us, not just for the cis in our community, but the trans and non-binary. And okay, that one was allergies.
Oof.
Sorry.
Poor thing. I'm so sorry.
I'm going to try to edit this as best as I can, but I'm sorry if I missed a couple pieces. But it's connected deeply with our community, and it's just basically, it's bigotry trying to allow like things to run things. And so if they're going to start quoting like religious reasons, I hope the Satanic Temple comes in.
Oh my God, please. Can we have an after-school satanic drag show?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Oh my God, please. That'd be great.
Because I can't remember what city, but the community made this one city basically put "In God We Trust" or something like that back on the police cars.
And then they opened it up for everyone else to be able to design their own designs to put on these police cars. So you could have like a Baphomet head inverted pentagram on the side of this police car right next to "In God We Trust," and like have like, a Star of David and stuff on here. It's like,
because it literally, the mayor or whatever, whoever the political leader for this area was like, all right, you know what, after years of, I'm done. We'll put it on there just to shut you fuckers up. But we're opening up to everybody.
So I'm really hoping the Satanic Temple says,
they already sent designs.
Oh, they did? Oh.
The Satanic Temple sent designs. I think a Muslim organization did, and an atheist organization did.
Hell yes.
And the atheist organization did in Pelham Itras, I think. It's in.
Isn't it like Together We're United?
Together United, yeah.
It's either that Latin for Together United. Mm-hmm. That sounds almost right. I kind of sort of know Latin.
I'm terrible with Latin.
Literally, the only reason I know Latin is because I used to be an English major. So a lot of the root words or root pieces for that you'd study in English would
Greek or Italian.
They're Latin.
Sorry.
Yeah, they're English borrows a lot from Latin. So
a lot of European languages do.
I also have Latin in my arm, fun fact.
Yeah. I'm really sorry for all the coughing, I will say. I'm not sick still.
We got her a test. Was it yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, I bought 2. Can I have been about that real quick?
Sure.
So when you people, I hope everybody is taking like at-home tests whenever you feel like you need to. When you get exposed or whatever. Double check and please make sure you get a receipt. Don't be like me. Please make sure you get a receipt when you get your at-home test, because one of my COVID tests did not have the little like tubular thing, because I was going to get one for me and one for Rayven. Test Rayven again to see if she can go back to work. Test me again later to make sure that, I still didn't pick it up, because our partner is now negative. You are now negative.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure that like I somehow didn't overlap in that window of you're still contagious and gave it to me,
mm-hmm.
and then I'll have it next. But I don't think I did. But like, just please make sure you have all of the pieces in there.
Mm-hmm.
Take pictures of everything when you open those things, just to make sure to be on the safe side, because my thing was missing a tube. So now I have half of a test. and it sucks.
Yeah, and it's not only that recently too, because we had Hot Pockets, and one of the Hot Pockets was missing a sleeve
Yeah, the Hot
too.
Pocket was missing the crisper sleeve. I tweeted at you, Hot Pocket. I hope you found our podcast Instagram or Twitter, and you'll see this too. I tweeted at you. I don't think you responded to me yet
Also,
about your crisper sleeve.
Also, let me just say, fuck Nestle.
Yeah, fuck Nestle. God damn it. I like Hot Pockets, and they were Nestle, and I'm just like, oh, I already stopped with the fucking Pop-Tarts. I don't miss them anymore.
And I stopped with Oreos too, like name brand Oreos.
I don't know, maybe we could find some Kirkland brand fucking Hot Pockets.
Oh, I can sure hope.
I would hope so. Because last time we were there were no fucking Hot Pockets. There was an embargo or something we were talking about. Man, I'm sorry. That was spooky.
No, it's okay. Do you have a short topic, or we can hit break early?
I'm trying to see what I only have a topic. It's a medium length, I guess, topic.
Okay.
It's 2 parts. But I mean, we can just talk about something else until we hit break, or hit break early.
No, I got a short one. I forgot about it.
Okay.
So Terrapin, our friends at Terrapin,
Hey guys.
Operate in Jersey Shore, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Which is technically Lycoming County.
Yeah.
They're on the Lycoming side of Jersey Shore because it kind of runs almost in the middle.
Interesting.
I mean, it really technically doesn't, but like, it's pretty close. Like Jersey Shore is like right up on the border.
Yeah.
However, they're now opening up a new facility in Clinton County, where I went to high school. My parents first moved up here when we first moved to Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
In South Avis.
That's pretty cool.
So that's even closer to mom and dad.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Jersey Shore and Avis are kind of like mom and dad are in the middle of.
Yeah, they're both pretty close.
But Graham and Pap live real close. Like my stepdad's grandparents live really close to Avis. Sorry.
I still can't believe the first time I met your Graham. The first time I met your Graham, she let me drive her car. She's like, here's the keys to my Prius. And I'm like, you just met me.
Yep.
I was baffled.
But Terrapin announced that it's bringing a new medical marijuana grow processor facility in the 180 block of Henry Street in South Avis.
Nice.
Terrapin states that since 2018, they have invested around $30 million in operation and improvements, including a $15 million expansion that is planned to be completed in June.
Holy shit.
Terrapin says his purchase will add new jobs to the area. In addition to its 125 Pennsylvania employees who grow, process, and package cannabis, the company will also employ around 40 from the Vet Force, a veteran-owned and operated security and transport team firm that Terrapin employs.
That's so cool.
Well, Avis doesn't have a whole lot of people, and it's kind of a small rural town. A lot of people will drive to Mclehatton for First Quality or Truck Light.
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 factories out that way, or they'll drive all the way to Lock Haven for the First Quality bottling plant there.
Yeah.
So this just adds another potential job
That's amazing.
in the area because these areas are hurting for work.
Oh, yeah.
I will admit that. And what better way than work with cannabis?
Right? That's so cool.
We actually have a friend. I don't know if they listen to the podcast, but it's a friend of mine from high school. His wife works for Terrapin.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think it's funny too because like she shared the post about moving there. It's like, oh hey, are you friends with this person? Yeah, that's I'm not gonna say names.
That's my friend's wife, and I was like, oh shit, why did my brain? Because I was like, I was following them, and I was like, they're super cool, like looking at their stuff, and then I was like, wait, for some reason my brain was like, I knew them from somewhere else, and I don't think you knew them, and I was like, how do I? It was one of those I added you on Facebook, and I can't quite remember how I know you things.
Yeah.
And then you were like, that is my friend's wife, and I was like, oh okay, click.
All right, we're gonna head over to break now. We're gonna get relifted and shoot over to future me with On This Day. Hi, welcome back to another part of On This Day. Today we're going to be looking at May 24th. First, starting in the colonial area of the America's history, in 1610, the colony of Virginia passes the first anti-sodomy law during this colonial period. In 1919, Germany, the first feature film, Anders als die Anderen, I believe I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know. I don't speak German. Translated to different from the others, is screened for members of the press at the Apollo Theater in Berlin. The film is about a romantic relationship between two men intended to educate viewers of the hardships faced by homosexuals under Germany's recently enacted anti-sodomy laws. It starred Conrad Vittand Reynold, Schunzel. I'm sorry, again, I don't speak German. I am so sorry about the mispronunciations. It was co-written by Richard Oswald and Dr. Magnus Hirschfeld in 1914 of May 1868, and it was finished in 1935. Same day. Who had a small part in the film and partially funded the production through his Institute for Sexual Science, which with aim of presenting the story as a polemic against the then current laws under Germany's paragraph 175, which made homosexuality a criminal offense. The film was banned across Germany in 1920. In 1959, and I thought this was just mostly cool because it's really close to where we live. In 1959, the first house with an built-in bomb shelter was exhibited in Pleasant Hill, Pennsylvania. In 1964, the Beatles appeared for the fourth time on the Ed Sullivan Show. In 1970, Peter Green of Fleetwood Mac quits the band to join a religious cult. Which I threw that in there because Fleetwood Mac to me has always been a stonery kind of band. In 1974, from the USSR comes a rare public acknowledgement of the country's repressive policies against gay men and lesbians. American News Services report that noted film director Sergei Paradoznov had been given 6 years hard labor for crimes including partial homosexuality, an incident sorry, it's my allergies still kicking my butt. Partial homosexuality and incitement to suicide. In 1948, he was convicted of homosexual acts, which were illegal at the time in the Soviet Union, with MGB officer named Nikolai Makava in Vasily. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison and was released under amnesty after 3 months. He is one of all estimated 1,000 persons arrested each year on charges related to homosexuality. And in 1988, UK Section 28 is enacted. It states that local authorities shall not intentionally promote homosexuality or publish material with the intention of promoting homosexuality, or teach of the acceptance of homosexuality as a pretended family relationship. It was repealed on June 21st in 2000 in Scotland by the Ethical Standards in Public Life Act 2000 as one of the first pieces of legislation enacted by the new Scottish Parliament. And on November 18, 2003, the rest of the United Kingdom by Section 122 of the Local Government Act of 2003. And I want that to kind of be reflective of history on that one specifically, because we're pushing legislation here in the United States that people have already gotten rid of in the early 2000s that were pushed in the 80s during the AIDS epidemic. So what does it tell us how fucking ass backwards we are in the United States? I'm not going to get a big soapbox because this is on this day in history, not the actual rest of the podcast. But we'll go into that at another time. Once again, this has been On This Day in History. And we're back. Thanks, squeaky chair. You all right?
Yeah, I don't know why I'm just giggling right now.
Okay.
Oh, we didn't get relifted. Can you pass me the vape cart? Thank you. It's one thing we forgot to do on the break.
Okay. You want to talk about your thing?
Sure, let's talk about my thing next. So I was perusing around the internet and I found something that caught my eye. There's an article on what to do if you were pulled over after using cannabis.
Okay.
Which is very important and I think everybody should know about.
Because fuck cops.
Because ACAB, and in most states where even if you have your medical card, you can still get nailed if you pop positive on a test for THC, which is going to be all of the time if you are a medical patient.
Yep.
This was on the Philadelphia Inquirer's website. And I read over it, and it was a lot of like common sense, like don't smoke and drive, don't smoke while you're driving, don't take dab rips on your way to like the grocery store while you're in the moving vehicle.
Don't be like that guy I saw on r/idiots in cars that was literally smoking a bong while driving.
Yeah, don't do that shit. Don't, and if you can avoid it, don't leave your pieces in your car because paraphernalia laws in Pennsylvania especially can still get you in hella fucking trouble because you're not supposed to smoke anything in the state of Pennsylvania. We're a vaporization only state. So there was an interesting piece in here about State Representative Chris Rabb. He's a Democrat from Philadelphia who is also a medical marijuana patient. And he drives 100 plus miles one way to Harrisburg every day to go to work.
Fuck.
So he said, and I quote, "I drive very carefully, but I still drive with fear because of PA's zero tolerance with THC that I was telling you about." Rabb has also introduced legislation that would exempt medical marijuana patients from the zero tolerance law, provided that we're driving safely, which I think would be fucking great because there's no breathalyzer for cannabis. This has always been the thing of if we make this legal, how are we going to make sure people aren't doing it and then driving and then making other people in danger?
And this group in Canada, I should say this company, is quote unquote made it, and it's still in the trial phases and everything, but you can't get that from breath like alcohol.
No, you can't. Unless I'm literally blowing a joint in your face. You can't tell I'm smoking pot.
I do like that bit though where it's a
the fucking kazoo.
Is this a breathalyzer? No. And they just lose their shit.
Yeah. But Rabb has actually introduced that legislation is super fucking cool. I'm not quite sure when it's gonna come around, or if it's gonna be for. I'm assuming it looks like it's gonna be for the state, for the Pennsylvania medical marijuana program. I just wanted to add my own stuff onto the end here. Be safe and smart. Don't smoke and drive. Drive with absolute most caution and do not give a reason to be pulled over. Make sure all your licenses and your registrations is up to date. Make sure that you have all your stuff up to date on your driver's license.
Make sure you're using your turn signals.
Don't have any tail lights out. Yeah, don't be braking properly. Don't be running any red lights. If you do get pulled over, do not show your card. Do not mention it. Do not say that you have it. Because and remember, most importantly, you are not obligated to answer any questions or provide any information other than your name, your driver's license, your insurance card, and your registration. They don't need to know where you're going. They don't need to know what you're doing. The cops don't need to know any of that.
And they don't have to search your vehicle unless they have a warrant. Exactly,
because your vehicle is private property.
And always keep a camera in the car, or turn your phone on and start recording, because cops have been recorded basically giving trained drug sniffing dogs a fake symbol or like a fake training thing, and they'll react like they smell drugs.
It's a false alert. They'll alert falsely, which will allow them to search a vehicle, even though they make it look like it wasn't. They didn't tell the dog to alert. You know? But they did. They totally did.
Also, just a side thing, if you ever have to take a polygraph test or a quote-unquote lie detector test,
fake pseudoscience shit.
Yeah, it is fake pseudoscience. You can actually fight that in the courts, because even the inventor of the polygraph has been quoted saying it's not this lying machine. That was never what it was invented for. A polygraph was just basically a heart, really early heart monitor. That's all it was. It was just a way to read your vitals, like your heartbeat, your breathing, and all that.
And I will say, because I love psychology and I look into this shit all the time. Body language and different systems within the body do react to different stressors in like situations. So if you are lying, it is more likely for your heart rate to be increased because of that stress it's putting on you.
True, but if you have anxiety and you're near cops,
yeah,
and
with
you don't
cops
trust
and you don't
cops.
trust cops, nobody should trust cops, then of course your heart rate's going to be fucking elevated and you're going to get shaky.
Mhm.
Like, also there are some people who have a super low resting heart rate, so even if they did get up there and like get anxious, it would still be quote unquote regular resting heart rate. You can't tell. Pseudoscience bullshit.
So this one for me is from Marijuana Moments, written by Kyle Yeager. Sorry, I like Jägermeister. A New York senator filed a bill not this last Thursday, but the Thursday before, that would legalize what will be essentially be licensed community marijuana gardens for people who aren't able to cultivate cannabis in their own homes.
Oh, that's cool.
The rules for homegrown under New York's adult use marijuana law are still being developed. But Jeremy Cooney, Democrat senator, is looking ahead and aiming to address the likely challenge that will emerge for renters or people living in urban areas. Under the proposal, the Cannabis Control Board, or CCB, would empowered to enact regulations permitting the licensing of new business categories called personal cultivation facilities, where people could grow cannabis for themselves outside of their residence. The bill will, quote unquote, ensure individuals who do not have residence that is suitable for personal cultivation, such as most renters, individuals living in urban communities, like old folks' homes,
Yeah.
still have the opportunity to utilize personal cultivation in a safe and controlled setting. End quote. A justification memo attached to the legislation states.
That is so neat. So like you could have this little piece of land and go and grow your pot.
Yeah, and the article continues a little more about it.
That's so cool.
It kind of goes over the how it would look and everything, but like that kind of makes a lot of sense. And I'm wondering if Pennsylvania's Department of Health, like when we go rec, if they would allow the Amish to do that, to grow their own. Because my thing is, the Amish basically have one person that they elect to be the tobacco guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the one that basically, quote unquote, oversees all the planting of the tobacco seeds.
Mm-hmm.
And then because they're Amish, they keep it in their community. That's why they were able to grow and get around the fact that they can grow and basically make their own cigarettes.
Yeah.
But I think they actually just smoke it in pipes.
Yeah.
But I wonder if they're going to do something similar, like they have one representative for the entire, I don't know, community. The flock, they're all the ones. They all go to the same church. I'm just going to say the flock.
Yeah.
And then they plant their own cannabis plants and basically grow them here.
That'd be cool.
It would be cool. Can you imagine some high Amish folks? Bet it would help a lot of them with the years of hard labor and their back pain and everything.
Yeah, that'd be so great. You think they put up barns fast now? You just wait until they're not in pain and they can put up a barn fast. Wow.
My final thing today is from CNN, written by Heather Chen.
I'm sorry, don't mind me. I was thinking of the just disjointed bit.
Oh, the
CNN
Cannabis News Network now.
Yeah, Cannabis News Network now.
The Thai government will distribute 1 million free cannabis plants to households across the nation in June to mark the new rule allowing people to grow cannabis at home, the health minister says.
Heck yeah.
Health Minister Newton Charvirakul. Sorry, I don't speak a whole lot of languages, and so I'm going to get tongue-tied, and I apologize for the mispronunciation of the name. However, the health minister announced the move in a Facebook post on May 8th, in which he expressed his intention for cannabis plants to be grown like household crops. The new rule, which comes in force June 9th, will allow people to grow cannabis plants in their home after notifying their local government, but these plants will have to be of medical grade and used exclusively for medical purposes. Although cannabis cannot be used for commercial purposes without further licenses, sorry, the move is the latest step in Thailand's plan to promote cannabis as a cash crop. About a third of its labor forces work in agriculture, according to the World Bank. In a region notorious for harsh penalties towards illegal drugs, Thailand has become the first country in Southeast Asia in 2018 to legalize cannabis for medical research and use. The kingdom has also loosened local laws around cannabis. Thai drinks and cosmetic companies last year rushed to launch products with hemp and CBD, a compound that does not give the users high, after the use was approved for consumer use, or for consumer goods. Sorry. In a further Facebook post on May 10th, Anuthan noted that Thai companies registered to do so could sell cannabis products that contain less than 0.2 THC. I'm not going to read where they explain that's what gets you high. Fuck that. This would enable...
Pennsylvania is the same way with the amount of THC that's in there.
This will enable people and the government to generate more than 10 billion baht, or the Thailand's currency, per year in revenue for marijuana and hemp. Chopaka, a Bangkok-based cannabis entrepreneur, told CNN the law was meant to pave the way for people to use the plant in medical teas and soups, which has been basically done for thousands of years in Southeast Asia.
Hemp seeds are really good for you.
It will still be considered criminal if you don't have a legal prescription, and you have to be a patient of some form of ailment for this to work. Only then are you able to grow cannabis at home and use it however you like. She added that even though recreational use of the drug remains illegal, smoking weed happens all the time, and there's no way the government can stop that.
It's so glad that somebody actually has said that. It fucking happens. What are you gonna do about it? You're gonna bust a bunch of adults for smoking some pot? What are they, teenagers? Fucking, it's like Reefer Madness. We watched Reefer Madness. The hell musical is the big deal? Yeah. They're just adults smoking pot, but then there's teenagers smoking pot. So yeah, okay, but the adults smoking pot, let them. They're not hurting anybody.
No, can we just talk about the Reefer Madness real quick?
Oh my god, that kid who went nuts and killed his. Didn't he kill? Was it Mary Lane?
So we were watching high school. It was Reefer Madness the musical, which is a parody from the 70s.
Which I watched then after with riff tracks over it.
Watched the original.
I watched the original one.
Reefer Madness from 1936.
Yeah, this one was colorized. They did it recolorized in the 70s, probably. It looked like 70s TV color.
It could have been 50s Technicolor.
Yeah, it could have been.
But anyway, the original Reefer Madness basically explains that using cannabis is bad and you'll end up killing people and becoming a sexual deviant. So the musical makes fun of that. Jeremy doesn't kill Mary Lane. What ends up happening is he fights the guy who's basically the dope peddler who's selling all the drugs. What he does is he threatens him with a gun because Jeremy wants out. He fights with him, and the gun goes off during that fight, and Mary Lane gets shot in the process.
Yeah, that's what happened.
What ends up happening is the one guy, I can't remember his name, the entire time was just basically a dope fiend. Giggling all the time, kind of crazy, goes nuts, and eventually just starts killing people.
Yeah.
There was one point where Jeremy was humping this one girl, Susie's leg.
Yeah.
Like a dog in
just
heat.
a dog in heat. Yeah,
because he was just high. And I'm like,
Dude.
That's not what cannabis. Like, you can't take it seriously at all.
No,
Like,
it's hilarious.
It's supposed to be like this goofy, messed up parody of Reefer Madness, which was originally called Tell Your Kids.
Yeah, it was called Tell Your Kids, and it was what you were supposed to show kids in high school. This is why you don't smoke pot.
Mhm.
You are going to end up like these people. And they do end up just like they're just sexual deviants and like just murderers and fucking they're just looked at as psychopaths. And I'm like, what the hell are you smoking that this happens? That is not pot. That is not pot you are smoking. It's K2. K2 does crazy shit like that.
But K2 wasn't around then.
No, but I mean, there you fucking go.
But like you
Modern
had
answer though.
You had this black and white portion where it was basically this guy showing this small, middle American town this movie called Reefer Madness. So basically it's a movie within a movie.
Yeah.
Because the colored portions, which is following Jeremy or Jimmy or whatever and Mary Lane,
Mm-hmm.
that is what the audience that this guy in the black and white portion brings out. And so this one guy who's Polish brings it out, but it's like, my brother-in-law's done heroin and he doesn't act like that. He acts way worse. Heroin was way more addictive and everything than this. This just seems like bullcrap. And the guy who brought the video is like, what's your last name? It is a very Polish last name. Oh, are you Polish? Yeah. A communist. And tries like literally belittling him and bullying him and telling him he's not true with America or anything. Until he sees the same way, like basically bullying him into submission.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, he's speaking the truth there, bud.
Anybody who spoke the truth back then was considered a fucking communist.
Yeah, or a hippie.
Yeah, or a hippie.
And like, it's fucking bullshit because that's still being run today. There's still a lot of Reefer Madness today.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And not even like people actually doing what was in Reefer Madness, just people believing the propaganda that came out from that.
that shit. And it blows my mind thinking, holy shit. I keep forgetting because like we've come so far and I have taken so much of that conditioning out of my system that looking from like now where I stand working in the industry and being a medical patient and seeing how much it's helped me change my life and like people I care about, looking at like, fuck, the people that raised me watched this shit and believed it. That was my mother's era. She was born in 56.
Yeah, so she probably would have seen the colorized version.
And her mother would have watched it, which is why her mother was like ripping out the marijuana plants that Sandy was growing and was like literally acting like those people in that movie of, holy shit, you're crazy because, you smoke pot.
But your grandmother's mother would have been around for the era of when it was in medicine, like cough, like it was Arabic hashish or hash, like as a major component in like cough medicines and like sleep aids.
And my grandmother was probably also drinking Coke that had fucking Coca-Cola that had fucking Coke in it. She had cocaine in it at that time.
I don't know if your grandmother would have been young enough for that. Maybe
she was born in. Shoot, I don't know when my grandmother had been born. She was 86 when she passed away in 2011.
It was 80 and 11?
She was 80 and 11. She was 86 when she passed away.
Your grandmother might have been around when they just started banning stuff, too.
Yeah.
Because that started in, like, the 20s, 30s era, like after Prohibition.
Okay.
So, 2011, and she was 80, right?
Yeah.
She was born in 1931.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So yeah, she might have been around for when everything. So it would have, but like I said, your great grandmother,
my great grandmother, absolutely
would have been around for when Coke
was in Coca-Cola, and there was freaking like.
Because let's assume
what's the shit that they put in cough syrup that makes it behind the counter?
Heroin.
Yeah.
I mean, when they had heroin and cough syrup?
They had heroin and cough syrup, and now there's something else still that if you drink enough of it, it gets you fucked up.
Oh, I don't know.
That's why you have to be over 18 to buy cough syrup.
See, I'm assuming your great-grandmother had your grandma in her 30s.
Probably.
So she would have been born in 1901 or 1910. And That I don't see. The timeline's weird when you think about stuff like this. I don't know if Coke still would have had coca leaf in it. It might have. But that was around the time when hash and medicine was still a little relevant. But definitely your great great grandmother, like your grandma's grandma,
Yeah.
put it around for that, because that was like going even another 30 years back, 1871. That would have been a big time for Coke leaf, Coca-Cola, probably around the time Coke or Dr. Pepper went from a cough syrup to a soda.
Yeah.
And that's weird to think too. It's only like 4 or 5 generations back cannabis was legal.
Yeah, and this shit that wow, it's so crazy. Because you were like, I was losing my mind when I was like, oh my gosh, like that's why in my head it was like, because my grandmother has pictures of like the style at the time that were like in really old photo albums and stuff that is of this style that was in Reefer Madness. And that's why I was sitting there losing my mind, because I was like, that looks so authentic to like when how it actually looked. I was like, holy shit. Losing my mind.
But like, it's really weird because, let's see, would have been your great grandmother, your grandma's grandma, right? So your great great grandmother. That probably would have been my great 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 grandmother.
Yeah.
Because your mom and my grandfather are born around the same time, which is weird to think about.
That is so fucking
My
weird.
grandfather was born in 1955.
My mom was born in 1956. My mom had me super late in life.
True, she did. Your mom is 1 year younger than my grandfather.
God. Do you ever like stop to think if how old I'd be right now if my mother had me like typical age, typical birthing age for women born in her time period?
You probably would have been in your 40s right now.
Yeah, that's weird to fucking think about. I'd be twice my fucking age right now.
And yet you're 2 years younger than me.
Fuck. And also, you stole my birthday.
Oh boy. Here we go.
I was supposed to be born on March 28th.
Yeah.
I was born late. And so I came out on April 2nd. And then I meet Rayven. And I'm like, hey, what's your birthday? This bitch says March 28th. I was like, you stole my birthday. You were born 2 years before me. And that's why I couldn't have my birthday then. Because you stole it. How crazy that would have been. Sorry. If we would have been birthday twins.
That would have been funny.
That would have been hilarious. I've been birthday twins with somebody I've dated before. That was in high school. But it was still crazy.
It'd be easier to remember when to get presents for everybody.
Exactly.
I mean, it's really easy for me now because my birthday's the 28th.
Mm-hmm.
And then 29th, 30th, and the 1st. The 1st is my stepsister Bryce's birthday. Then the 2nd is your birthday.
So I love how our both birthdays are so close together. We just celebrate together.
Mm-hmm.
We just, that whole week, we just ate fucking crap.
Twice.
Twice.
Went to the same crab place twice. Spent $200.
Oh, yeah.
Each time we went.
Definitely going to do that again for next birthday.
No, fucking, it's just, we only get money. And we're saving up for a house for. We're going to go out.
Man.
By the way, we are saving up for a house.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I just got to get my credit up, but we're looking for a house.
I'll throw you on my credit card and it'll report back on you.
But yeah, we're looking for a house. We have an idea of what house we want. It's really nice. Big kitchen.
God, it's so gorgeous.
I know.
Is that upstairs, like that big open room? That's a 3rd story, isn't it?
I think so.
It's fucking amazing. And I've always wanted a freaking house like that too, that has the finished 3rd floor.
Yeah.
I just think that's the neatest shit because that was my favorite place as a kid. Fun fact about me was in the attic of my parents' house.
Really?
And you saw how weird and like tented up that was. It was get fucking hot up there because it wasn't insulated.
That looks insulated.
It was dirty, like, but this is a finished attic. I like it. That's so cool because also like I've seen what people have done with that finished attic space. They put in like cubby holes, like cubbies into the wall, like that room has. But my ex, him and his brother's room were in a finished attic space. So they like split it up into bedrooms. I think that, I don't know. Architecture is just fucking cool.
It is.
I like cool little weird shaped rooms. That's why I've always kind of wanted a house with a round room. I don't know. They're just kind of cool.
Yeah, but
sorry, I was ranting about fucking houses.
You're good. I mean, I really want that house. It's a nice house.
I'm so excited.
Also,
He's so
super
nice.
super excited for August.
Oh God, yes, Cannabis.
I'm going to the Pittsburgh Cannabis Festival. I'm so excited.
So stoked.
Actually, I'm curious. I'm gonna open up their.
I'm glad they like our graphics. I'm probably gonna post the first one. I'm gonna schedule it to be like the post on the day of release.
Mm-hmm.
So Tuesday, it'll post Tuesday when the episode comes out. So whenever you're listening to this right now, it should be on our Instagram. It is the sneak peek picture, the first of many graphics I have made for the Pittsburgh Cannabis Festival. I literally just got stoned one night. Hey, Allegheny Commons Park, we have a location, guys.
Okay, so they did announce when we originally recorded, they didn't say where it was gonna be, and so we did a little ad. Didn't say where it was in the ad.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be April 14th, this year, 2022, from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m.
It's noon, babe. 12 p.m.
Yeah, 12 p.m. So
You said 2.
I said 12.
I thought you said 2.
Oh, well, it's noon to 5 p.m. at Allegheny Commons Park. And what I really like about their page, you can find them at PittsburghCannabisFest.com.
And they have a counter.
They have a
days
countdown.
until PCF, Pittsburgh Cannabis Festival.
So as of recording, it is 82 days, 22 hours, 16 minutes, and 38 seconds.
This is so exciting. I'm so excited for
Right?
this.
Same.
Oh, when you were talking about the music sponsor, that's who's going to be providing music for the festival. We're the media sponsor.
Yeah, that's what I said. We are the media sponsor.
Yeah, but you said they were pending a music sponsor.
No, pending media sponsor.
Oh, media sponsor.
Right here.
Oh, I thought you said pending music sponsor because they did just announce their music sponsor for this year. I can't remember what the heck their name is. But anyway, I will definitely be, whenever you're listening to this episode, travel over to our Instagram, click on all of the @. I'm going to @ Pittsburgh Cannabis Fest in the description there. You can go over to their page. That is actually where I saw it, was their Instagram about their media sponsor. And yeah,
music sponsor.
Their music sponsor.
We're the media sponsor.
The music sponsor. I am stoned.
I know.
Anyway.
Also, hashtag on TikTok. We released a video today on that.
For Pride Out.
Hashtag Pride Out is still going on.
We had a bunch of cool creators take over our Smoking Out the Closet podcast, our their
podcast
TikTok, and my personal TikTok. I'm 420_NB over there. So yeah, go check out our TikToks for Pride Out.
For those of you who don't know, we haven't caught it yet. Hashtag Pride Out is basically on June 1st, first day of Pride Month here in the States. We're basically going to take over TikTok and basically be like, hey, there's an issue with the reporting system. We targeted a lot of minorities, people of color, Black Lives Matter, Stop Asian Hate, and you've taken down a lot of videos and refused to kind of like, with the appeal process has kind of been a bunch of garbage.
Yeah.
And you shadow ban people and have them on basically, you cough wrong and we're banning you kind of thing.
Oh gosh, can we go back real briefly to like the wave of trans men they were fucking banning?
Oh yeah, I'm getting there.
Like, oh my gosh.
Like, yeah,
I'm so
and right now it's the LGBT community.
Yeah.
Trans men with showing off their post top surgery and being like, having, kind of like updates on it and like, hey, here's how the surgery is, because like, younger trans men or people who want top surgery don't know what it's going to look like or how it's going to be dealt, and some will literally are in the process recording their healing and what they have to do, and it shows
and
people,
educating people.
But I mean, right now it's just it's us, it's the LGBT community that are basically being attacked. That's all the time we got today. Again, sorry about missing last episode, but we're back on track, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye-bye.
Oh, I forgot to do. I'm Rayven. I use she, her pronouns.
And I'm Alex. I use they, them pronouns.
All right, we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.